Yesterday at the end we started talking about that a woman that became widowed or divorced, or for that matter, a woman who converted, a giyeris, is not allowed to get married for 92 days. 92 days. 90 days besides the day of the death, the divorce, and the next day. So it's 92 days. We said the reason for that is because we want to know who the father of the baby is. A woman can give birth after 6 months. She can give birth after 9 months. So therefore, if let's say a woman was divorced and 2 months later she got married to somebody and later has a baby, we don't know is it 6 months from the first husband, 9 months from the second husband, and it's a lot of difference. First of all, you have to know inheritance, which relatives you can marry. You have to know who the father of the baby is. So therefore, it says in halacha, it's very emphatic, that din, to the extent that even if a woman's old or she can't give birth, the chacham did not differentiate in the halacha. The same thing for a woman converted, from a proper halacha conversion. So we want to know, was this baby conceived as a Jew or still as a non-Jew? So that's the question. If she converted and she gets married right away, and she has a baby 6 months later, maybe it came from the non-Jewish husband 3 months earlier. We don't know that. So under all circumstances, a woman needs to wait 92 days. In today's world, for whatever reason, there is a leniency, but again, many rabbis are emphatically against this leniency that a lot of people use today. They say, well, today they take a pregnancy test and she's not pregnant and they could do it. But in halacha it says, even if they're not able to give birth, you can do it. So it's a really big issue, but a lot of places are lenient, and a lot of places are questioning that whole thing. Usually by a divorce they don't wait, they do wait. By death they do wait. Where they don't wait today is the woman will have a conversion Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon they'll make the chuppah already. When you have to wait 92 days. It's a lot of issues. But a lot of people do it today, whatever, but it's not something that could be done. Now the exception to that rule is if the woman is already pregnant. If she's already pregnant, then you know which husband it's from. Obviously it's from the old one. So then Allah says she doesn't have to wait. What?
So how do we hold typically with this?
We are very, very strict not to do it.
About the wedding. So the kid...
I have Rabbonim saying it could be even a shayla in the whole conversion. They're already not accepting the chacham's decree.
Yeah. So if she's already pregnant and she goes into the mikveh, the kid has to do gerus l'omer, or he's retroactive?
No. A woman who's pregnant and converts during the pregnancy, the kid does not have to go through another conversion. The mother's conversion is valid for the kid, but the kid is a convert. In other words, if a woman converts and she's already pregnant, and she has a girl, that girl is a convert. So she can marry a kohen. If it's a boy, it's a din of a get. No, it's relevant because the question is he related to the father or not, or to the mother or not, for that matter. In other words, if you're converted, you're technically not related to your father or mother. So it's very important to know, is the kid convert? But they definitely don't have to go through conversion. Again, the mother's conversion, what?
Is there yichud for the mother and the baby?
Okay, that's a very good question.
It's a tough question.
Huh?
It's a tough question.
What's the question?
The question is, if the kid, let's say, is a boy, and the kid's a convert, it's not really the mother's child, halachically it's not a mother, can she be alone in a room with him? Can she touch him? It's all those stuff. So the din is like this. In halacha it says, in the din of yichud, that because it's a biological parent, there's no din of yichud. In other words, what are we afraid of yichud? If you're alone with a woman, you might come to do something you wouldn't be allowed to do. But if it's a biological parent, even though it's not halachically your parent, but the fact that it's biologically your child, so halacha says there's no din of yichud. I mentioned this in the past. We had once a case in the city. There was a Jewish woman married to a nice Italian guy that had a beard. He mamish looked black hat. He mamish looked Jewish, but he was still a non-Jew. And one day he converted properly. I mean, they were religious. Mamish, they were very frum. She covered her hair. It works. And one day he decided to convert. They had a kid. They had a girl. And then he decided to convert. After he converted, the wife says, I don't want to stay married to you anymore. I don't want to stay married to you. So now, because he was a guy, when they got married, so they didn't even need a get because he wasn't Jewish. So now the question came up, this is a question going back close to 35 years ago. The question came up, can the father have custody of the kid? If they split custody, it's a girl. Can the father have custody of the kid? Because technically, he's not the kid's father. Halachically, he's not the kid's father. He's his biological father. So then we looked into it, and it's really a clear din in a sefer called Dvar Halacha. In the books of Yichud, they write that because it's a biological parent, there's no problem with Yichud, being alone in a room with her. Same thing would be your mother, because it's the biological son, there's no din of Yichud. Okay. Another interesting din that many people are unaware of. A pregnant woman that became divorced or widowed, but she's pregnant, cannot marry somebody until the baby is 24 months old. It's a mission in Yevamis. It's called Meinekas Chaverei. If the woman has a child, the baby's born already, either widowed or divorced, doesn't matter. She's not allowed to marry until the baby is 24 months old. Why? Because if she marries somebody else and she gets pregnant, she won't be able to nurse this baby. So she's stealing the father's rights, that the mother's obligation to feed the baby, to nurse the baby for 2 years. By her doing it, she's stealing the rights, an obligation that she had to nurse the baby, because they might not have money to buy food, and therefore the thing is like, huh? Yeah, because if she gets pregnant, then she'll either have to stop nursing, or she won't be able to nurse the same whatever, and then that baby won't have food. So which the father had an obligation to feed through the mother.
So why this rule doesn't follow marriage?
Huh?
Why this rule doesn't follow marriage?
Like what?
Like you have to wait 24 months before you can get the second, third child.
No, because it's the same father and mother. Like this, you're stealing. No, because you're stealing from the other father. Here, it's the father and mother's baby. They're going to make sure there's food. Here, the mother doesn't care so much because it's not her child really, it's the other guy's child. So it's like, but if both are parents, the father and mother, then it's not a problem.
If she doesn't feed the breastfeed,
so then the law, what happens? They didn't nurse, or they gave it up to a wet nurse, it was called, and so then it doesn't matter. Halacha says you can't. There is a tshuva that Rabbi Moshe writes that nowadays that most women don't nurse for 24 months. He paskins 18 months is enough. Not everybody agrees with that, by the way. But he says, because today women nurse only 18 months, generally speaking. So then that's that. But again, many people disagree with him. What did you want?
Just devil's advocate. What is the latest point that a woman could marry right before giving birth that it would then allow for that to be a, responsibility of, whoever before. So because right after the baby comes out, right, she has responsibility for 24 months.
Correct.
So if at any point before she gives birth, what would be like that?
She can't.
If she
Not
cannot.
when she's pregnant.
Now, in fact, there's a whole question. What happens is she married him, so now halachas have to divorce, and then he can remarry her later. But it's a very, very strong halacha about this, what's called menekes chaverei. So, again, you can't, it's a big issue. A lot of people, it's a Mishnah Yavamis, mamish a Mishnah, and it's a din Shulchan Aruch, but there are other hatadim sometimes, whatever some poskim said 15 months, but they said it's very, very strict, very, very strict din. And they say even if you want to be permitted, you need the other big, gedolim with you and the rule in this to permit it.
But you say that if somebody, she get divorced or she get widowed,
Yeah,
and she's already pregnant, she doesn't have to wait 90 days.
correct.
So she can marry when she's pregnant.
Yeah. No. That was with the 3-month story.
Yeah.
Even if she's pregnant, she can't marry until baby is 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
Now you're talking about the 3 months. If she's pregnant, then you don't have to wait the 92 days because you know what it is already. But if you're talking about menekes chaverei, if she's pregnant already, no, she can't.
She can marry that baby.
She can't get married until the baby's 2.
What was the 2-year restriction?
Because that's how long normally a woman would nurse the baby. And because it would nurse the baby, they would be taking, she won't have milk for the baby if she gets pregnant. But if she gets pregnant from the husband, like you said, the husband will buy her food. Here the husband, the ex-husband, is not going to go, it's your kid, you take care of him. It goes even more. Because according to, I'm not talking civil law now. Let's talk true blue halacha. It's not done. It is some places it is done. One second. If a couple gets divorced with kids, okay, where do the kids go to according to halacha? I'm not saying you don't take in everything into consideration, but black and white halacha. So black and white halacha says like this. Until the kids are 6, they need the mother, they stay with the mother. After 6, boys go to the father, girls go to the mother. Okay, so this is the halacha. Again, it's not done today because today you have secular court, whatever it is. It doesn't always work like that. So in that case, basically, so the father says, listen, you're raising the kid until 6 years old. What do you want from me? I'm not going to buy him food. And the mother might not have enough milk for the baby, so the baby is going to lose out, in which she was obligated to nurse because of the first husband. So that, yeah.
On that 2-year rule, oftentimes when a woman is late 30s,
What?
on a 2-year rule, oftentimes when a woman is late 30s, early 40s, there's a window where she can opt children, and that window closes rapidly, month by month.
I understand. But halacha says she still can get married because she wants to have a baby, but she can't. There's an obligation to take care of this kid that she has. Potentially she might not, but if God wants her to have a kid, she'll have a kid. Listen, in last week's parsha, Sarah had a baby in this week's parsha, Sarah had a baby at 90. Yocheved gave birth to Moshe Rabbeinu, she was 130. What?
So if she was pregnant, but she got married anyway, you said you didn't have to divorce her?
According to many opinions, the Gemara talks about it. It's machlekes in the Mishnah. If you have to divorce her and then remarry her later, whatever the situation is. What? He won't be able to. But he wasn't supposed to marry her.
No, if she
What?
married-
What if it's like, you can establish that, for example, the husband has been out of the country for a year.
So it says, even if the husband was away, he was in prison, or that, you still have to wait the 3 months, for her to marry. The guys, they can be pregnant from the husband, he's in jail. Well, today it's possible, but in those days, he didn't have all those rights in jail. It wasn't a country club. So, today the jails are country clubs. And if they don't get it, they scream, they protest, and they whatever. And the government gives in. Whatever. So, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay.
It's time.
Oh, it's time. Machin is on my mind, Kim Shablag out there, we're going to Kashim, and I was going to go back so we can able to enter Mr. Shanamad.